That's the fun.
Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to tonight's live video. We're back to talk all kinds of things cruising.
Yes. And California Linda has made it home.
I bet you're happy to be home. I mean, everything you guys said about your cruise, I mean, it would sound like an awesome cruise, but I bet you it is nice to be home. I really bet that it is. All right, we'll give everybody a chance to hop in, say hi, move the mouse off of people.
For Frankie's here, says hello.
Well, hello. Welcome to tonight's show. Got a couple things we got to talk about tonight. Talk about some stuff that's been going on in the cruise news. And then I actually have a cruising question for everybody out there. I know somebody out there is going to have some good answers and some good suggestions to help us out for an upcoming cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to talk about cruise cabins. Cruise cabins. Because I have this theory about cruise cabins, and I'm curious to know if anybody else agrees or disagrees with it.
Philly's here, says hi, Chris and Tiffany.
Well, hello. Welcome to tonight's show. Welcome to tonight's show. Ready to get this going here. It's been, cruise news wise, it's actually been fairly quiet this week in the cruise news. Not a whole lot of turmoil and stuff. Of course, those unfortunate folks on Royal Caribbean's Radiance of the Seas getting their cruise canceled after they boarded the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's one of those things. Technical issues happen, you know, but I mean, I still feel bad for those passengers. You get all the way to Vancouver, you board the ship, you get your stuff put away, and bam, your cruise has to get canceled over engine problems.
Yes.
And yeah, they got 100% refund. They got 100% future cruise credit. The cruise lines was helping them get home. I mean, the cruise lines was doing what they could do, but just from a passenger standpoint, for how they must have felt in that particular moment, that just sucks.
Yes.
I mean, there's no other way to put it. It sucks.
Until the fun's here. It says hi, y'all. James is here. Good evening.
James, how are you doing? You know, you got to share the weekly medical report with us.
Yes.
How everything's going with you. But yeah, I don't know. It does seem like the cruise ships that have, excuse me, the most issues, the most problems, when you start comparing the ones that constantly have engine problems, they all have the azipods. The majority of them seem to have the azipods. Now, Radiance of the Seas, she's an older ship. She is definitely an older. She's not a youngin'.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a lot of time on her. She's got a lot of nautical miles on her, but she does have azipods. And usually when there's engine issues, it's azipod related. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the absolute best maintenance design ever. I mean, I've seen videos where they have like this tiny little hole that they open up, and someone real small can squeeze down there to do some maintenance on them. But I mean, you got to, from what I've seen in the videos, you dang near have to be a contortionist to get down into those azipods. So, but according to Royal Caribbean, she is going to be good. She's going to be ready, and she's going to be back sailing May 3rd for her next upcoming sailing. So fingers crossed, because, well, you never know. The last passengers got all the way on board the ship before they found out their cruise was going to be canceled. So there was that. And then, of course, we have our travel, and I'm going to put this in quotes, travel agent, because I don't really think she is a travel agent, scam artist out there, good old Monica Faulkner. I just did the video on that came out this morning, as a matter of fact, talking about Monica Faulkner, and you guys probably remember good old Monica. She is the travel agent that left 50 people. One story said 50, one said 26. I'm not sure if it's 26 cabins, 50 people. But anyway, she left a group of people standing on the dock in Miami when they were supposed to board the Carnival Horizon. That's when her name first came to light. We first started hearing about her. She was there. She boarded the ship, said, I got it. I'm going to get this taken care of for y'all. Boarded the ship, and they never saw her get off. She went on her cruise. And we didn't hear a whole lot about it, but she has struck again. And apparently she struck more than one time here recently. 71 people for a trip down to Costa Rica, get down to Costa Rica, only to find out they don't have accommodations. Nothing. She didn't book a thing. She took their money and left them high and dry. And I guess she was there and they were trying to get payment from her and everything else. And apparently none of her payments would go through. And basically she feigned a heart attack apparently and had to get carted off by an ambulance and was never seen again.
Wow.
And yeah, apparently there were folks that had booked a trip with her going to Aruba, and that one got canceled, and they haven't known, and no one's gotten money back. So yeah, I really hope that we see some criminal charges and some lawsuits going against this particular individual, because she is giving travel advisors and travel agents who are actually trying to do right by travelers and cruisers and vacationers, trying to do right by them and help them and to give them the best opportunities for vacations. She's giving everybody a bad name by doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she is.
You know? And I said it in the video, and I've said it in both videos that we've talked about her. Your travel agent should be able to book directly for you with the vendor. So any money that a travel agent collects should be going to the vendor. In case of cruises, you know, if you're booking for Carnival, even through a travel agent, that money should be going to Carnival Cruise Lines. You should immediately get a confirmation number and be able to go onto Carnival Cruise Lines and check it. And if they can't do that for you, they're not doing something right. And it's something to go, I'm going to step back and reconsider this, because, you know, I just booked for the Carnival Miracle, and I can go right over to Carnival's website, punch in my confirmation number, and I didn't even, you know, booking through the travel agent side. I can go right to Carnival, put in my confirmation number into my own Carnival Hub account, and boom, our cruise pops up immediately. I can start looking at shore excursions and all that kind of stuff immediately. It should be like that for everybody.
Yeah.
And it should be like that everybody. So I guess that's just my caution of the day. My word of the day is, you know, be careful who you're booking with. Make sure they're reputable. Make sure you know they can show something. They're experts in what they're doing. Excuse me. And that you trust them. And if they can't give you, like I said, direct access to your confirmation through the vendor, don't do it.
James says he's hanging in there. We'll be having surgery May 28th for a complete tear in rotator cuff and the bicep tendon tear, plus bone spurs in the joint. So looking to be out of work 2 to 3 months. Not good.
Whew. Man, that sucks. I am really sorry to hear that, but I do hope that a very smooth surgery, an easy surgery, and a
very speedy recovery.
And a speedy and as painless as possible recovery.
That all just sounds painful. Bone
It
spurs,
does.
tendon tear.
Well, I know people have had those rotator cuff injuries before, and they say they hurt. It hurts. And really, until they fix it, there's not even a whole lot they can even do with it.
Bruce says, "What's up? I don't use a washy travel agent."
Yeah, she washy all right. Washy them right out of their money.
Who Paul is back? They need to whip her butt, stealing people's money plus jail time.
They need to do something. They absolutely need. And yeah, it's theft. It's straight up theft. And honestly, I'm sorry. She's taking advantage, especially of inexperienced travelers. That's really what it is, because these folks are getting to destinations and finding out they don't have accommodations. They don't have their trips set up. And me personally, I book my own travel and I still go over to, you know, the apps for the cruise lines or whatever the case may be and verify I can log in. Mostly it's because it's out of curiosity. I want to start looking at excursions and what we can do, but I even check up on myself. Mm-hmm. And so I really feel a lot of them are probably fairly inexperienced travelers because they don't know to follow up behind them. They trusted her. They believed her. She said, "Oh, it's all good." And here we are.
Attila says, "Whoa, James, best wishes to you. Hope for a speedy recovery and successful surgery." James says, "Thank you all. Really appreciate the kind words. My surgeon said it's part of getting old." You know, I'm so tired of doctors saying that. I really am.
Yeah, poor Tiffany. Every time she goes to the doctor for something legitimate, the conversation she always seems to come home with what the doctor say. You're getting old. It's like,
That's
Doc, my leg fell off. Well, that's because you're getting old.
That's not the cure-all, be-all. Be a little more
I agree.
medical about it. Just because you don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little older. I'm a little slower. I'm not as quick as I used to be. But boy, that doesn't stop me most days. Maybe I can't go as long and as hard as I used to, but yeah, I don't always believe that the doctors say getting old is the app. I don't agree with that either. Sometimes things are just broken, hurt, and need to get fixed so you can carry on.
California Linda James, wow, praying for your speedy recovery with minimal discomfort following your surgery. Thanks for the update.
Yeah. Always thinking about you, James. Always keeping you in the back of our, minds, keeping you in our prayers. We definitely hope for a speedy recovery for you. That way we can get back out there and get back to cruising. I don't wish an injury on everybody, but we can't have you at home. We're supposed to be out on the ocean.
James says, totally agree, Tiffany, but he is a good guy and a good surgeon. Most of them are. I've just had some really bad luck lately.
Yeah, our family doctor, that's a whole other story, but I think he owns stock in whatever company he makes steroids, medical steroids, because apparently that is the cure for everything. If you ask him. Again, oh, your leg, it got amputated. Here, have some steroids. That'll fix it. And you're old.
Attila the fun. Tiffany, my doctor keeps saying the same thing. Laugh out loud. Just give me a rocking chair on my balcony. I'm all good.
Now you're giving Tiffany ideas. I've had Tiffany pick a hotel because it had rocking chairs one time. So
yes. Yep. That was exactly why I picked it.
But now that Attila has said that, and now that I remember you, I'm thinking, this is in my mind. Just picture this. So you're on a cruise ship. There's always people walking around and it's kind of crowded and this and that. What if the cruise lines put rockers out on the balconies and you could rock and drink your coffee? I think a whole lot of the corridors might clear out. What do you think?
I know James and I'd be there.
Just rocking away on the balcony watching the ocean go by?
Yep.
Maybe that's where cruise lines are making the mistake. Maybe hammocks is not the answer, but rocking chairs on the balconies could be the answer that the cruise lines need. They're already paying for chairs. Is it really that much more expensive to get one that's got the rock on it?
Yeah.
And you can rock on your balcony.
Attila said, well, I guess if the ship is rocking, I won't need the rocking chair.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you got the legs, you're still stuck. But if you have a rocking chair and the ship is rocking, you don't even have to put any effort in. You just sit still.
Yep.
The ship will do all the rocking for you.
Yep.
I just picture hundreds and hundreds of people sound asleep on their balconies in their rocking chairs.
Yep.
Especially if they were comfortable. If I had a comfortable rocking chair on a balcony, I would be straight asleep.
Set timers so that you don't burn to a crisp, though.
That's true. Or do it in the evening or early in the mornings. But yeah, rocking chairs on the balconies.
I like it.
And that is not an old person
hammock,
thing.
Though, I like the hammock too, though, because then I can lay down and rock.
That's true. We'll have to find out when we go on Virgin. Every balcony has a hammock on it. You can truly test out the theory of the hammock.
Yes.
So, all right. Now, I do have a question for you guys, see if you can help me out with. Who has a suggestion for a good pre-cruise hotel in Port Canaveral, Florida? I've been looking around and, it's got the usual suspects that look good around the port. We're going to be driving ourselves there. So I'm not worried about transportation and stuff like that. But a good, nice, clean, decent pre-cruise hotel around Port Canaveral. Mm-hmm. Anybody knows any good ones? Heard of any good ones? Let us know. We're going to be looking for one to stay on May the 15th.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. And so I'd like to be a little proactive on that particular one. I mean, we've sailed out of Canaveral twice, but one time we drove straight into the port, and the second time we were coming from Disney when we went over there. So we stayed the night before at Disney. So this will actually be our first time needing a pre-cruise hotel in Canaveral.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking for some recommendations for that one, if anybody has any good ones. And then I did want to talk a bit about cruise cabins, because I don't know. I think maybe I'm the odd duck out when I pick cruise cabins. What do you think?
A little bit. I mean, you like going towards the bottom of the ship. I like being more in the middle. That way it's not too far from the food or the...
Yeah. So for our 2 upcoming cruises, we're doing inside cabins, cheapest cabin, category. Rather spend the money doing other things. If I want to see where we're at, what we're doing, and we're going into port, I'm good to just go stand up on the deck and do that kind of stuff. And for the purposes of sleeping, an inside cabin is great. So for our next 2 cruises on the Carnival Miracle and on the Disney Wish, we're on inside cabins and we are down low. I think on the Miracle, they're going to put us on deck 2, I believe. And then on the Disney Wish, I think we're down there pretty much same area, down pretty low. Me personally, I like to be low on the ship. And here's my reasons why, though. So if I want to go up to food or to do something on one of the upper decks and I go to catch an elevator, we're on the lowest passenger deck. You're always going to get an empty elevator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't go down anymore. So they're either off the elevator or they're getting off on that floor. So when you get on that elevator, it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never getting on a crowded elevator. I like that about being on deck 2, and I ride my way up to wherever I want to go. Now, when I want to go back to the room, it's all downhill. If the elevators are crowded, I just take the stairs, boop, boop, right back down to our cabin. Easy peasy, right? Downhill's downhill.
Yeah, but I don't like riding in the elevator, period. So that's even more flights of stairs I have to climb up.
Yeah, but going up when at least you get it empty means you're not fighting.
It's not empty by the time we get where we're going.
No, but at least it's empty when you get on versus it doors opening and it's full of people. I think it's a plus.
I don't like elevators. People have no
Elevator etiquette.
No, and they try to cram as many, and my anxiety, I can't.
Cruise ship elevators can be a test of your patience. But I think if you're going to have to get one, I like getting it from the bottom. Now, when we get off in port, it's shore excursions and the day is over. You're hot, you're sweaty, you're tired. All those people are trying to get back on the ship. We walk up 1 flight of stairs and we're at our cabin. We never have to get an elevator to get back to our cabin, because that's the first thing we want to do. Get to our cabin, put our stuff down, rest, take a shower, cool off for a little bit before we go up on the deck and sail away from the port. And I like not having to fight and get an elevator and do any of that kind of stuff. And that's why I personally like the lower decks. Now, I know not everybody's going to agree with that. I know people like to be higher. Some people like to be forward. Some people like to be aft. Everybody kind of has their own preference, which is one of the best things about cruising. You have multiple choices. But when it comes to where I like my cabin, I like it as easy for me to get to and from as humanly possible. And I could walk down 10 decks of stairs if I have to.
Oh, yeah. I'll go.
I mean, heck, you trip and fall, you'll end up down on your floor eventually.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And if you get hurt on the way down, well, medical's down there with you too.
Diane says, I don't like the elevator either. I get what you're saying. No lower decks have to have a balcony, but everyone is different.
Don't get us wrong, we like balconies, but even on some of the Carnival ships, you can get the cove balconies down on the deck too. Mm-hmm. So even on some of them, you can still get a balcony and be down low. When we do, like, Tiffany loves balconies. But for some of these cruises that we've been on, like our cruise on the Disney, It's only 3 nights. Or, yeah, 2 nights, 3 days, something like that. It's a 3-night cruise. I'm not paying for a balcony for 3 nights. And with cruise prices being as high as they are right now, it's just a little more affordable right now to get more cruises in to cruise and an inside cabin that we don't spend a lot of time in. We really don't.
Well, here lately we have been.
Well, taking naps and stuff like that, but anytime we're not napping, I'm hanging over a railing somewhere anyway, watching the ocean go by. And there's lots of places to do that without having a balcony. For me, nothing wrong with a balcony. And I know you love balconies. And if it was certain cruises, Alaska, Panama Canal, certain cruises like that, we would definitely have a balcony.
Bruce says a lot of folks aren't playing with a full deck on cruises.
No, they're not.
No. I like the idea. We did a top deck cabin a couple years ago, and the scenic location was good, but man, struggling with the elevators on the top deck is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and like I said, it's a new game, I think, on cruises. Let's see how many people we can cram into an elevator, and a lot of them don't wear deodorant.
Yeah, they always want to cram in the elevator when they don't smell their best.
Yeah. Joe, that is actually a good tip for new cruisers, Tiffany, about the elevators. Yeah. I think we've done one.
Yeah, you talked about it on the forum, and I know we have an elevator etiquette cruise tip video, but it is pretty old.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to refresh some of those old tip videos. But yeah, elevator etiquette gets worse and worse every year. They constantly try to shove on the elevator before you even get off. And yeah, it's all about me. So, if they can cram in there and make 20 other people uncomfortable, they don't care. And I'm also a firm believer, look, if you're going one deck up and you're going one deck down and you are able-bodied, take the damn stairs. But we've seen on our last cruise, we saw people that were clearly able-bodied. They were running around and being goofy, waiting for elevators to ride down one floor.
You spend more time waiting for the elevator. You could have been down there and at your location.
Right, by the time you wait to go one floor up or one floor down. But that's just my opinion on cruise cabins, where I like to go if possible. I've tried in the middle. We've tried at the top. We've been at the front. We've been at the back. And I'd say the most time at every cruise we've been on, when we haven't been low and middle, we always say it every single time when we come back from a shore excursion, I wish we were down lower when it comes time to go to our cabin.
Yeah, but we've also mastered the...
Shh, don't give away our secrets on how to get back on your ship from an excursion. You give that away, we'll never be able to make that work again.
California Linda is clueless about Port Canaveral, but my camping rocker is awesome for soccer games and fishing trips. Perhaps it's time to think outside of the box and consider it for a balcony.
For your camping rocker.
Yeah, they have.
Maybe
they have those folding chairs. You can get them in rocking chairs now. I'm searching a Carnival.
So, but yeah, so that's kind of my opinion on cruise cabins. And honestly, by the time I get back from excursion, I just want to go put my crap down. And cool off. Usually take a shower and just cool off, because we get on the excursions and we go.
Yeah.
And we go and we go and we go.
James says he has stayed at the Radisson Resort at the port twice, cruising out of Port Canaveral. Real nice, close to the port, nice pool area.
Okay, I did see the Radisson. I was wondering if that, and I thought I'd heard that one mentioned by somebody else before, but I'll definitely look into it. Thank you, James.
Cruise to get a cove balcony next. They're low down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that gets you low and a balcony. We haven't been on a ship with the cove balcony opportunity yet.
Yeah.
Because the only one we've been on was the Vista, but we stayed up on a different balcony. We were up on deck 6 for that cruise. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would definitely consider a cove balcony to get the best of both worlds for me.
Yeah. Diane wants to know where I like.
But what are you looking at me? You tell me. You tell them where you like.
I kind of like more the, I don't know if it's middle or top, but I want to be more around the, not the same floor as the buffet and stuff like that. Maybe one below it or one above it.
So you like to stay up high.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just like to stay up high.
Nothing wrong with that.
Weird because
Believe me, as much as Tiffany and I cruise together, we're not in sync for every single cruise item. And we compromise with each other.
yeah.
And we do compromise, hence why she gets to go on the Disney Wish. Believe me, that was what she wants. And we compromise with each other, but yeah, we don't agree with everything when it comes to cruising at all.
If I can avoid elevators at all, I will. So I would rather be closer to where I'm spending most of my time.
I'd rather avoid having the elevator open and having 20 people in it. That's my elevator dislike.
Yes. Cruising Karen's here. Hey, Tiffany and Chris.
Good
So
evening. Welcome to the show.
Until I hit the wrong button said too early. California Linda shares low and middle is the best cabin locations, easy to access all activities, and we use the stairs unless my knee is acting up. Then I do use the elevators.
Yeah, and we do take the stairs quite a bit. And even for the upcoming Miracle sailing, I mean, it's only a couple decks up to get up to deck 5 to the atrium and those decks anyway. For those, we'll use the stairs. If we're going up to the Lido deck, obviously we'd use the elevator and then walk back down. And I'm the same way. I'll go up the stairs as much as I can. Usually by about the third day, though, the knee brace is on.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually the last couple of days, I'm riding the elevator a lot more. So, yeah, I get with your knee. I completely get it. I have that same issue. It's one of those situations where, the mind and the heart is willing, but the knee is like, no, you walked too many stairs this week. You're going to have to ride. And usually by the day before disembarkation, I'm riding everywhere.
Until some people state one deck above the buffet or dining room so it's quick to reach the food and soft drinks. Depends on where you spend your time, I guess, the most.
Yeah, like that. And that's the best thing about cruising is that there's options.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it up high, you like it down low, front or rear, whatever everybody's preference is. And in my opinion, no answer is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If that's where you want to stay and you're happy with it, well, then it's not a wrong answer. It's really a personal preference. I always see all those videos that say, best cabin to stay in the ship. This is where you want to stay. Avoid these cabins. You always see those types
Mm-hmm.
of videos. Well, what if you like those types of cabins?
Exactly.
I don't think there's necessarily a wrong cabin or a bad cabin anywhere on the ship. It's bound to be all right for somebody.
Jen says, don't care which deck as long as it's as far aft as I can get. Can't afford the aft suite, laugh out loud. And cabins above and below are usually choose a balcony on 9.
See, there you go. There's someone who likes being closer to the aft of the ship. And we've been to the aft of the ship. We stayed almost at the very aft on the Voyager of the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't Voyager. It was Liberty. One of those ships.
We've been at the very front of the ship. We've been at the back of the ship.
That's true. See, me personally, I think when you get closer to the back, I think it vibrates more.
Yeah.
But that could just be what I feel when we cruise too. Again, there's no wrong answer.
I'm with you, Jen. Like the 9th or 10th deck. Yeah. I think that's about where I am.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of artwork, and depending on the ship, they've even got sculptures and stuff in the corners of the stairwells. We've spent several cruises. We've gone up and down stairs just to look at art
Mm-hmm.
and the different paintings and stuff. Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that, but that's true.
Well, then using the stairs is how and you got to be careful on some of them stairs though. But using the stairs is how I figured out that the floor carpet colors are different from the starboard side and the.
Yeah, that was on Royal Caribbean.
Port side, starboard, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was on Royal Caribbean.
And then this last cruise we were on, the Prima tried to throw you off with their stairs and the carpet. We love the movement at night.
I do too, but I like my bed, the head of my bed or the foot of my bed, bow to stern.
Mhm.
I like that more than I like it port to starboard. That way, when the ship rocks side to side, my bed rocks just right. That would be my bed preference. But we've stayed in the other ones too, and I sleep just fine. So,
Jeannie, I always get an angle balcony when on the balcony larger and you can see out two sides of the balcony. I'm going to assume that's the front of the ship. What is the advantage of being at the front of the ship?
it really depends on what you like. To be honest with you, I know at the front of some of the ships they have some really beautiful, like panoramic ocean view rooms. We stayed on one on the Carnival Freedom, and the whole front wall of our cabin was just a piece of glass.
Mm-hmm.
One big giant wall of glass, and it just looked over the bow.
He wants to know the aft.
Oh, the views off the aft. You watch the wake. That's why I like staying near the aft. It's so peaceful and relaxing just to see the wake and listen to it.
Quieter too.
It's quiet. Yeah, it can be depending on your ship. So
Jen says hubby is a trucker. He likes the vibrations. It's like home.
And like I said, it's honestly a personal preference. That's why I said there's never a wrong answer. That's why a lot of those videos about this is the best cabin to stay in and avoid this cabins. Maybe for the
avoid whatever cabin you don't like.
That's right.
The public doesn't like.
Yeah, that's why I don't do those kind of videos, because that would be a 10-second video. Yeah. Avoid these cabins, and it'd be me on the camera. Look, avoid the ones you don't like and the areas you don't like. Have a nice day.
Yes.
And that's really exactly how that video should go.
Diane said, wow, I didn't know that about the carpet. Thank you.
Yeah, all the cruise ships are a little bit different, but a lot of times there's patterns in the carpet. Royal Caribbean, it was different colors for each side of the ship. On Disney, if you actually look, there's stars on the floor on Disney. The tip of the star will always point to the bow. And it's different on different cruise ships, but yeah, usually there's some type of pattern in a lot of the carpets that will show you where side you're on, where's the bow of the ship versus the aft of the ship, until you get used to the way they are and feel.
Mm-hmm. The Carnival Dream has an aft ocean view cabin that is way down low and right center behind the wakes. Super nice view and quiet too.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Those panoramic ocean view, those were nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really, really nice.
The only thing I didn't like about that room was the door was not magnet.
That's true.
And we had a bunch of magnets made for that cruise. But the doors were not magnet.
Yeah. Tiffany's not happy about some of the doors. They put that extra laminate over to decorate and make it pretty, make it look like wood or bamboo, and her magnets don't stick as well. And yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, very much a thing.
That means now you're gonna have to get more magnets.
Yes.
Especially with the Disney cruise coming up.
Well, I'll just do like I did last time and make my own.
Well, that's true.
We made our own.
Did we?
Yes.
And we put them out?
Yes.
And I was on that ship?
Yes. You helped me make them.
You're sure?
Yeah, you're the one that got the font and everything. We have Disney font somewhere on the computer.
Apparently I did a thing. I don't know.
Gotta decorate your door. Yes, you do.
She does. She is a door decorator for sure. She's usually got some kind of theme or idea, or at least just something to put on the door.
Yes.
Which we're definitely on the side of team decorate door. I know there's people out there that hate it. They don't like it. They think it's tacky and makes the hall, what have I seen? Hallways look like flea markets and all this other kind of stuff. But you know what? We're on the side of team decorate your door if that's what you want to do. One, it helps you find your cabin.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know how many times I've walked down the hallway and you learn pretty quickly where it's like, oh, I recognize that. I'm almost to my door. And you can walk right up on your cabin.
James says yes. Tiffany likes to decorate the doors.
Yes, she does. James knows. But yeah, we're definitely on the side of decorate doors. Now, if you don't want to decorate your door, that's fine. Don't. It's not mandatory, obviously.
And there are people out there, they share their decorations. When we did our Halloween cruise, that lady was like, here, you don't have spider webs. You need spider webs. And she gave me her spider webs.
That's true. Good door decorating groups. If you end up in the middle of one of them like that, everybody's sharing decor. I've got extra this. I've got extra. You don't have any of this. You take some of that. And next, you know, half the hallway is decorated out by a couple of folks that are just having a blast.
Yes.
Tiffany's got caught up in that whirlwind before.
Yes. Yes.
But it's fun. And it helps build a cruising community.
Yes, it does. California Linda shares that we like a forward cabin on the Princess ships. It's near the theater where the production shows, enrichment shows, and some entertainment venues are held. Now, we had a cabin right underneath the theater.
On the Ruby Princess, we were on deck 5 forward.
Yes, during the 80s cruise. And so we got to listen to the cover bands, Bon Jovi and Journey and Prince practice. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. So yeah,
That's true.
we missed the Prince concert because I wasn't feeling good, but we got to hear them practice that day. So
That's true. You
like
could
we
hear
were
it right through the floor. But it was good. I mean, it wasn't,
yeah, it was awesome. I enjoyed it.
you know, and they were done in the theater by the time we went to bed anyway. And we're not super stay up real late people anyway. But yeah, you could hear them playing and practicing during the daytime.
Mhm.
But see, now here, that's an example. Let me ask you that, because that cabin was on deck 5,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
There was not a whole lot of decks below that on the Ruby Princess.
But there wasn't a whole lot of decks above it either.
Yeah, it was another 10 decks, 12 decks to
Was
get
there?
to the top. Sure was. But you liked that cabin on deck 5.
I
Now,
did like that cabin.
she liked it because she could walk out the door, walk down the hallway, and was at the International Cafe.
Yeah, that was a good part of it. And the coffee was right there, and the 24-hour food was right there. So yeah, I liked that one.
Yeah, she did like to be down low on deck 5, Ruby Princess International Cafe. She was all about that one.
Yes. Guess it's just where the coffee is. I look for the coffee.
Okay, so it's not that you like them up high or anything like that. You want your cabin the least amount of steps possible to getting to coffee.
Sometimes, but I still hate the elevator. I don't want to get in the elevator.
Or remember the coffee shops on Carnival ships are down low.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They're on 5.
5 or 6. I'm not sure what it is on the Miracle, but they're somewhere right in that general vicinity. So yeah, you won't be that far from coffee. And now I lost track of what we were even talking about.
Shares deck 5 was a favorite deck, International Cafe and coffee and steps away. I agree with Tiffany.
She took full advantage of that.
Yes, I did.
She liked it because she could just walk out, walk right back.
Yep.
And
I
she
mean,
did too.
It was literally right down the hall.
And she had Princess Plus, so she could just go back and forth all day long. And that was the cruise where Tiffany proved that getting Princess Plus was absolutely worth it, because she would take every advantage and possibility that she could with that. And she did. She drank the price of that in coffee.
Yep. I sure did. Attila says, oh no, I checked my next cruise. I'm way far away from any coffee. I'm not going to make it.
I said it is funny that some of the things, what's not funny, that's not a good word, but I guess it's interesting.
It's interesting what people find important enough to
Book
base
for.
their cabin on.
Right. Is it the food? In Tiffany's case, well, how close can I really get to coffee and still have a good room? You know, it's pretty interesting that what's important to people, just for their personal tastes. You got booking on, for instance, you could be closer to the theater, closer to coffee, maybe closer to food. You want to be in the aft, for the views, and it's really interesting and fascinating the reasons why.
I think it would also have to be based on destinations too.
It is for me a little bit.
We always ask for a coffee maker. I didn't know that was a thing.
You wouldn't use it anyway.
No, I wouldn't.
Not on a cruise. Now Tiffany has a coffee maker, and I'm going to say Tiffany has wore out coffee makers. I have watched her wear out a coffee maker till it just won't make coffee anymore. She gets every penny's worth out of a coffee maker before it finally dies.
And my coffee cup.
And your coffee, yeah, she goes through coffee cups like crazy. She just wears them
I
the
have
heck
to
out.
get a new one about every couple of years, and they put them on clearance, so I have my backup.
And she wears those out. But yeah, she gets on a cruise, she's not making her own coffee. Nope. She will go to the buffet and get a cup of coffee, of the free coffee, and she will go to the coffee shop and get a coffee. But yeah, when she's on a cruise, she's not making coffee.
Diane says we get our coffee in our room. It's wonderful. It probably is wonderful. And if Chris was a coffee drinker, then I would be all for that. But usually when I'm ready for my coffee, he's looking for caffeine. So we're both on the hunt for something. So it's just easier to just go to the buffet and get my coffee.
Well, that and half the time, by the time you get up to have coffee, I'm long gone.
That's true too.
Because usually she's still asleep. I'm up, dressed, and out somewhere on the ship, filming, exploring, checking something out. And usually she has to catch up to me.
Yeah. Tilla says, I do that too. Room service is usually great in the morning, right on time and good. The only time we've ever done that was the Alaskan cruise. We did that pre-order your breakfast and set it on the doorknob thing. We've never done that. And we did that when we went through Endicott Arm.
That's true. Yeah, because when we went through up there through looking at the glacier and stuff, we did not want to risk leaving the cabin and miss a thing. So we did order breakfast. I'd forgotten about that.
Mm-hmm. California Linda shares it's not available with Princess or Royal Caribbean. Jen, what line are you referring to? Yeah, I'm with Jen. I like to have my coffee delivered to me too every morning. At Linda, we cruise on NCL. If you have a balcony or higher, they will put one in your room. That's good to know.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you for that information. I did not even know that. You said that wasn't even an option. Of course, we've only ever cruised NCL one time.
Yeah, we didn't have a balcony.
And we did not have a balcony, but that's good information to know.
Yeah, because other people probably might not know.
True.
So.
Very, very true. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is
But
interesting
yeah,
and good news.
We talking about rooms and stuff, and where we like them on the ship based on what's on the ship. But I think your destination plays a big factor too. Because like when we go Caribbean, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's blue island.
Yeah. But when we went to Alaska, there's no way I'd be really upset if you got an inside room.
Well, no, I agree with that. I think there are some destinations that are specific to I would want a balcony cabin, which, as I said earlier, Alaska, Panama Canal, ones like that are, outside of it. But yeah, for Caribbean cruising, it's blue island.
California Linda shares, thank you. A teapot was available while cruising the Australian waters. Attila says, like one of those Keurig coffee machines. That's what we have. That's what I have.
Yeah, Tiffany's got one of them Keurig coffee machines. That thing's wheezing for breath every morning after she's done with it. But
yeah. Texas Cruiser. Howdy, folks. Just watched Voyager leave Galveston for a transatlantic for the Mediterranean.
Oh, I love watching cruise ships leaving Galveston. I have spent many an hour just standing down there when I get an opportunity to watch them go. I've driven down there just to watch some of them come and go.
Attila says,
I love it.
I think NCO gives them to suite cabins way above my pay grade. Never had one myself.
Us either. Us either. Every time, every year, I think, I want to try one, and I still do. I want to try one time just to kind of see what the
Fuss is about.
what the fuss is about. But for what I would pay for a suite, I can't justify the amount of time I wouldn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the biggest thing right there. I mean, but then again, those mini suites on Princess, that was pretty dang nice. It was a lot of extra space, and that's pretty swanky, I'm gonna have to admit.
Yes, it was. And it was nice having that extra room, especially as much as we ordered room service that trip.
Well, that's it. That was a specific cruise, and we knew we were going to spend more time in the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we went with the mini suite. But yeah, I don't know. That mini suite was pretty good, though. I have to admit, be hard pressed to not want that again if we were on one of the Princess ships.
Nice. That'd be a very nice transatlantic cruise. Yes, it
Mhm.
would. At Attila, yes, but a regular balcony, they will give you one. We don't do Havana either.
Yeah, I know some folks they love the suites and they book the suites and they won't book anything other than the suites. You know what? I'm happy on the inside cabin.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I like to roam around the ship too much and be out on the decks too much.
Well, and some of these, I saw that one where it's like 3 stories and there's a slide in there.
You with Royal
and
Caribbean.
There's the PlayStations and all of that stuff. Why don't you just stay home and play outside on your trampoline? I mean, for what that costs, I can't justify
But it books.
But it books. I understand.
But that suite does book. People get it almost every single cruise. So maybe as us, I don't see the point in it either, but somebody clearly does.
Yeah.
And maybe it's only to say, look at me, I got a slide in my room, but somebody books it.
Yeah.
Cruise line's making money. That's why it's there. And it's working for them.
We'd have to have 20 people go in with us just to pay for it.
Need 20 people to sleep in the room. What would we do with the 3-story cabin on a cruise ship for you and I? You know?
Go down the slide a lot drinking coffee.
Yeah. Ride the slide and drink your coffee. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought.
Are you picturing yourself going down the slide with the
Yes, unfortunately now I am thinking about the slide. I actually am. Thank you. I wasn't picturing myself drinking coffee, but now I'm seeing
That's
the
why
orange.
I said a monster.
I see the orange slide. Now I'm thinking about the slide. It's in my head. Now all I can picture is that sweet. Thanks.
You're welcome. I can make it worse. I can start thinking it's a small world.
You were supposed to sing this week anyway. You're supposed to sing the song from Moana, though. It's a cruising thing. We need the ocean themes.
No.
Well, you promised us more.
Everybody's picturing you going down a slide with a monster.
I don't think anybody's picturing that. I'm not even picturing me going down the slide. I'm just picturing the slide in general. You know, but they have hot tubs on their balconies. But you don't like hot tubs. See, another reason why getting some of those cabins just isn't beneficial because Tiffany doesn't like half the stuff that's in them anyway.
Jen says that cabin seems like a waste of space to me, but to each their own.
Me too. I'm with you on that. I'm absolutely with you on that one. Just don't need a whole lot of room for sleeping. You know, I got a bed, a chair to sit in, do a little work, a bathroom, change some clothes, out on the deck. That's pretty much a cruise. And I'll spend a lot of time just wandering around ships.
NCL's got the Aqua coming out next year. I might have to cruise it to see the difference between it and the Prima.
Now, NCL swears that they have made adjustments to the Aqua because of the number of things that were said about the Prima. Venues are too small, layout. So apparently the Aqua is going to be bigger, and supposedly they're going to be addressing and fixing some of those issues. So I am kind of curious, that maybe going on the Aqua, and she will be coming to Galveston, that it might be worth hopping on the Aqua just to compare the two to see what changes did they really make in between those two vessels.
Yeah.
So, because like we said, we didn't dislike NCL at all. Great crew, great food, good atmosphere. Just wasn't real thrilled with the Prima layout. So I'm all about trying NCL again, and I'd be curious. I'm with James there. I'd be curious to see what the difference would be between the two. Did NCL actually listen to passengers and then change it? But of course, you know how NCL does everybody too. You're going to book the cruise, and then you get that email that lets you know that due to enhance the customer experience, we've canceled your port and shortened all your other port stops. So that's part of the NCL experience as well.
James, he thought he read somewhere that they are doing away with the racetrack. I hope so.
I thought I heard that too.
I hope so. That is a big waste of space.
I mean, it's a cool concept, but yeah, it kills so much of the top deck space. But I did hear that too, that racetrack might be going away.
Jen says, I really hope they do. I honestly don't like any of the big ships. We booked the Jewel class.
I'm trying to think if we've been on a Jewel class.
Attila says, hopefully the Aqua will be an easier layout. It's coming to Galveston, but it's a short window of time. Hope to get a look at it. I'll look for your videos on it first.
You know what that translates to, right? You are the guinea pigs. That's what I heard there. Please go see if it sucks for the rest of us. Okay.
Chris, no problem.
Okay, I'm in. I don't mind at all. As long as it is not an inaugural sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not an inaugural sailing, I am just not fond of the mess that we see happening every time there's an inaugural sailing.
Jen said we had a port canceled in February. Exact same email. They use it every time.
Right? It is word for word, no matter what sailing it is, what the reason is. It's to enhance the guest experience. Though they did add in the last one, due to recent guest feedback and to enhance the guest experience, we have made some itinerary changes. We've shortened your port times and canceled a port. I've yet to hear what guest feedback NCL got that made them say this was a good idea.
Yeah, because I don't know anybody that's going, I booked this cruise because of this port, so I'm really happy you canceled it.
Right. Or, man, which passengers are voting to go, you know what? We spend way too much time in port. Can we please spend less time in port? What guest feedback did NCL get to even include that in their email? I'm thinking there's got to be somebody at NCL who writes this form letters and now gets made fun of by everybody else in the office.
Yeah. Shika's here. She says, hello, everyone. Texas Cruiser, we always get a junior suite.
Okay.
James says, well, depending when it comes to Galveston, might be there with you.
It is a little ways away. I don't think she gets here till 2025, I think. I'd actually have to look that up.
Coming December.
Oh, they're coming in December. So that does give you some time to heal. And maybe we can make that work.
I am packing and it looks like I am very late. It's okay.
But here's the real question. If you were packing, you're packing to go on a cruise, right?
I believe so.
Have you packed your washing machine?
Attila the Fun says 2025. December 2025.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so 2025. But yeah, if you are packing for a cruise, that is the real question, is have you packed your washing machine? Because that's the new thing.
Gotta be washy.
That's right. You have to be washy. And the only way to do that is to pack a washing machine. So, have you added it to your packing list?
I think I'm gonna have to make that a. Please don't put this in your luggage.
Please don't pack your washing machine.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going on a trip soon. Am I supposed to pack my washy?
yeah, you gotta take your washy
Will they
with
let
you.
that on the airplane?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm positive. Put it in your carry-on luggage. You can stow it under the seat in front of you. They fold up.
Anthony on the Move says hi, y'all.
Hello, welcome to the show. Yeah, take that.
I'm not taking a washing
And a
machine.
candle.
And a candle.
Yeah.
We
Tiffany got us accosted in an airport one time over a candle.
yeah.
Granted, we didn't know any better. We were in Vegas, and apparently, if you put a candle, and it was just a regular old candle, but if you put a candle in your carry-on bag, under the theory that it's safer there, it won't break because it was in a glass container, and then you go through airport security, you learn pretty quickly that apparently candle wax and plastic explosives are similar when they look at it through an X-ray. Who knew? But we found out that day.
Yeah.
Tiffany's bag got drug off to the side, and Tiffany told to follow it. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Not as interesting as you have rocks in your suitcase. I was flying back from Montana and my son found rocks that he had to bring home with him. And so there was rocks in my suitcase and he got picked to do a randoms check
For rocks.
for rocks.
You know, there's a guy in who went to Grand Turks and Caicos. And I don't understand how he didn't notice it, but apparently he had leftover ammunition
Oh, I saw this.
in the bottom of his backpack. The rules are so strict. He's facing 12 years in prison.
That him and his wife got.
They ended up letting his wife
They
go.
let his wife go. She's home, but now they're trying to get him.
Is the Miracle Cruise you posted on FB the one going towards? No, it's going eastern. The October 25th is eastern. It is going to. It can make me think. Key West, Florida, Bimini, Princess Key, Nassau, and Freeport.
I can only remember Bimini.
5 stops. Yeah, it's a 9-night cruise. We picked that one in particular. One, it's on board the Carnival Miracle. We have not sailed on that class of Carnival ship at all. And it's one of the ones we wanted to try. Tiffany really wants to go back to Key West. She's only been there the one time. She really liked it. Neither of us have been to Princess Key. We haven't been to Freeport in a long time.
Since we went to Key West.
Since the last time you went to Key West.
Yeah.
And then she's never been to Bimini. And it's 9 nights. And it's Halloween.
Yes.
And I'm a firm believer that for Halloween at sea, I'll go Carnival for Halloween.
Yes.
Because all cruise lines are great, but Carnival throws a Halloween party.
I gotta start looking for costumes.
Yeah.
2 bullets.
2 bullets in his backpack. That's how strict the rules there are. You know, they mean business. But keep in mind, how did he get through all the other security to even get to Turks and Caicos and nobody else noticed? You know, I believe that he's probably because, you know, what 2 bullets in your backpack. What are you going to do with that? That's clearly a mistake in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
But the question ought to go back, how did he even get that far?
Yeah.
He went through security to even get there. How did it get that far? And nobody noticed. Somebody was slacking before it ever got that far.
Attila says NCL just added the J to Galveston for a 10-day Panama cruise in 26 February. Check it out.
Man, you guys are giving me good cruises.
We were just talking about booking a Halloween cruise. And then not cancel a cruise.
For some reason, I thought it was Saturday. I think that is the Miracle might be going there on different times, or that might be the upcoming ones for the Legend. I know the Miracle is going all over the place, but we really wanted that Halloween cruise. That's the one we really wanted, and don't want to go on the breeze again. And we didn't want to go to Cozumel, Costa Maya area. Not again, not right now. We rather go east. And so anytime, a decent Eastern Caribbean cruise is going to pop up, we're looking at it now. There is a really, really, really good Carnival Journey cruise on the Carnival Dream that's going out of Galveston. But that's a 14-night one of their Carnival Journey ones. Man, that itinerary looks beautiful. I'm just going to the Virgin Islands, all down through there, leaving from Galveston and returning. Carnival's picked up some good, decent little itineraries.
I agree. Visit different ports.
The Jade to Galveston in 2026 February. Yeah, now I'm definitely gonna have to check that out now. Panama Canal is on my list.
Attila says, I probably can't do that Halloween one, just can't swing it. Would super love to go with you on the Miracle.
And we'd love to have anybody that wants to go. Yeah, we had to time that one, just right and just perfect. Would fit in right in that holiday schedule. We're starting to get into the part that time of year where Tiffany can't go. By the time my current contract I'm doing at work ends and Tiffany's busy season, we kind of had a tight little window. And I said, honestly, it's really about going during Halloween in particular, because Carnival just, for all Carnival's stuff that ends up in the news, their Halloween parties are a blast. And it's a 9-night cruise, which means it's going to be fun hopefully without a whole bunch of the extra short cruise drama, I think.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since we've been on Carnival.
2 years.
2 years, and we've done some Royals since then. We've done some NCLs since then. We've done quite a few Royals since then. NCLs, Princesses. So it's time to swing back around and hit a Carnival again before we start MSC.
Mm-hmm. Jen says, thank you for the info at Attila. We want to do the Panama Canal.
I do too. I really just want to go through the locks. To me, that's going to be utterly fascinating just to go through those locks. And there was a Panama Canal cruise this year, and I want to say the Miracle was doing a Panama Canal cruise out of Galveston, but it was later in November, and Tiffany couldn't make those dates. So,
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm terribly upset that we have to go on the Miracle and go to Eastern Caribbean. As you can see, I'm heartbroken.
I see it.
I'm crushed.
I see the tear rolling down your cheek.
It is right here. It's silent but invisible and non-existent, but it's there. I'm crying on the inside.
Yeah.
And I'll be welled up full of tears when I'm standing on the beautiful beaches in Bimini.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So, all right. But I think that is about going to wrap us up for today. We've talked about travel agent scams.
Yes.
Talked about cruise news. Don't leave bullets in your backpack when you travel. Yeah. I don't know. That story still.
It's kind of sketchy.
Well, it's sketchy that they didn't catch it before he got there, which makes you wonder if little things like that are getting through security. What else is getting through security? Remember, we did a story, a few months ago, where a lady got all the way on the ship with a gun through security. Mm-hmm. I don't think he should have ever gotten that far with that in his backpack. I think it should have long come up earlier in that. Especially, and I'm not to make jokes or be make lighthearted, because this guy's in a lot of trouble. But they miss bullets in your backpack, but boy, don't bring a washing machine, because they'll catch your ass with that. Right?
That washing machine was a little bit bigger.
Not by much. According to everything I've heard about these folding washing machines, it's not like it's huge. And they fold up. No. And they're made of plastic. Okay, bullets can make it through security, not washing machines. maybe time to kind of look at what's happening so these situations don't happen. Not only for the safety of the people on the ship, because what if somebody's actually trying to get something on the ship and it's not just a damn, I didn't realize they were in my backpack.
Yeah.
Should have been caught.
James says, thank you, Chris and Tiffany. Everyone have a great rest of the week. Jen says, have a good night, everyone. California Linda shares, thank you for a fun evening. Good night, everyone. Jen says, thank you, Chris and Tiffany.
Oh, you all are absolutely welcome. Believe me, we love to be here each week. We love to just talk and chat. And I'm sure you guys have figured out, I love to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see what I got left with, right? Y'all see this. Anyway, we're going to get off of here. Thank you guys for coming. And like always,
We'll see you out on the high seas.
good night, everybody.